admit it, you were more than glad that it exploded. All those fire, the explosion that looks like fireworks, pieces that shatter around. And you go wear earphones so you can hear those loud sounds and noises better. But why? Why do we love rocket explosions so much to the point that we go watch compilations of it? So, I tried to do a bit of research and figure out the science of it. Now I'm sharing everything I learned with you. While there's no specific research on the psychology behind this phenomena, we're going to look at possible reasons and the science of certain emotions that we feel while watching rocket explosions. The first possible explanation can be that explosions in general are visually spectacular. There's just so much going on, so much to watch. When a rocket fails, it often results in a massive fireball, a cloud of smoke, and debris being scattered in all directions. It all happens in a second or two, and this everything being everywhere all at once makes the whole experience jaw-dropping and captivating to watch. Humans are naturally drawn to dramatic and visually stunning events. Rocket explosions create a spectacle that triggers a sense of awe. Awe is an emotion associated with vastness and grandeur, which can be a powerful and positive emotional experience. Watching something as grand and impactful as a rocket explosion can elicit this feeling. Also, those bright orange and red fire we see so out of nowhere while watching rockets that are generally white, gray, or black, but definitely not bright and vibrant, can be very appealing to watch. The second possible reason is our love for drama. Rocket launches represent significant financial investments by space agencies, companies, and governments. They also involve the work of countless engineers and scientists. When a launch results in an explosion, it's a moment of high drama because so much is on the line. And we are drawn to the tension and suspense of these situations. And the best thing about this drama is that it has nothing to do with us and doesn't impact our lives directly. Especially when we know that no one is hurt, we can enjoy the pleasure derived from the misfortunes of others to the fullest. It's like we are releasing tension and deep, bottled-up emotions without personal risk or harm. This brings us to our third possible reason: emotions that we can't experience in our daily, boring lives. Rocket explosions provide a break from everyday life and allows us to experience excitement and adrenaline in a controlled, non-harmful context. An average person spends a day in certain routines that aren't very exciting, like commuting between work and home, while doing things that already became a habit. And the only adrenaline we get is from caffeine. But we used to it a lot that it doesn't help much either. So with such mediocre lifestyles, our brain is craving emotions it cannot feel, and the chemicals it cannot release. It looks for ways to satisfy its need to feel anything unusual, and rocket explosions let us feel something different than our usual. In a world where everything happens so fast and we start to get bored so much easier than ever before, these explosions still manage to fascinate us. Especially the fact that it doesn't happen in a movie, and all of it are real footages, gives us a huge adrenaline rush and satisfaction. So then why do we want all these feelings? What's wrong with a quiet and calm life? Well, because the fourth possible reason is that our brain loves getting shocked and scared. Just like lightning, the bright flashes of the boom indicate that something is about to happen. And this activates the amygdala, a little ball of nerves in our brain where fear is being detected. After the lights have stimulated the anticipation of a threat, the crack sounds of shattering pieces of rocket confirm this perception in our brains. And surprisingly, our reward centers release dopamine in response to this feeling. So it's like a celebration for our brain, who is bored as hell. On top of that, all this unexpectedness is also why we are so captivated. Even if we wanted to, we're hardwired not to look away from the light, because that's not what our brain usually expects from a rocket launch. The rapid fire pops and bright red fire force us to freeze as the brain investigates the sudden influx of sound and color. But why do we love exclusively rocket explosions and not any other explosion? Well, this can depend on various factors. For example, if you're interested in science and space exploration, it's highly likely that you'll prefer to watching a rocket explosion than a car explosion. And as mentioned earlier, most of the time there's no human life at risk in those rockets compared to cars, for example. Also, the high stakes involved in rocket launches, both financially and emotionally, set them apart. The fact that these launches represent not just technological achievements but also dreams and aspirations of space agencies scientists, and nations adds an emotional layer to the appeal. Another factor can be that space launches, including their successes and failures, receive extensive media coverage and can become part of popular culture. This media attention further heightens the interest in rocket explosion videos, making them more prominent and accessible. So, it seems that rocket explosions are a runaway from reality that we have to live. Watching such videos can make us both relax and feel intense emotions. While forgetting our daily problems for a little while, we get a strange type of satisfaction from someone else's problem. And before you go, here's one more rocket explosion video for some extra dopamine.